Ukraine's forces hit a fuel and lubricants depot near the town of Rovenki in the Russian-occupied area of Luhansk region in the early morning hours of October 12th, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces. Last night, a strike was conducted on a fuel and lubricants storage facility near the town of Rovenki on the temporarily occupied territory in Luhansk region, the General Staff said. This base stored oil and petroleum products which were supplied, among other uses, for the needs of the Russian army. A massive fire engulfed a storage tank at the facility, located about 60 kilometers south of the city of Luhansk. Impact assessment is ongoing, the General Staff said. The operation was carried out by Ukraine's military intelligence HUR in coordination with other defense forces components. Preliminary reports on social media indicate that the fire was caused by strike drones. The same oil depot had previously been targeted by the Ukrainian forces. On October 7th, Ukrainian drones attacked and set fire to a major oil refinery in Feodosia, Crimea, which burned for 4 days. In late summer, Ukraine initiated a bombardment campaign targeting Russia's oil and gas infrastructure, with some strikes reaching up to 700 kilometers deep inside Russian territory. On September 1st, Ukraine executed its largest drone strike of the war, with 158 drones hitting multiple regions, according to the Russian Ministry of Defense. However, local reports suggest that the actual number of drones involved may have been even higher. Russian mill bloggers complain that local Russian commanders are falsely claiming advances in eastern Ukraine. As a result, they say, Russian artillery and air power is not striking settlements that are in reality still held by Ukraine, causing unnecessary Russian casualties. A few days ago, Russian pro-war Telegram channels reported that there had been significant advances of the Russian armed forces near Siversk in recent days. The villages of Hryhorivka and Verkhnokamianske were said to have been captured and a foothold taken at Serebryanka. However, Russian mill bloggers now admit that these claims were false. The military informant channel says, "It is reported that the appearance of data on non-existent advancement was connected with manipulations of the local leadership, which was engaged in flag sticking where there were no real major successes of the Russian armed forces, with the aim of forming fictitious media victories and sending victorious reports to the top." In a more detailed report, Rybar comments that the claims of advances have nothing to do with reality. Some resources managed to report that at the Belogorivka-Hryhorivka line, Russian troops allegedly managed not only to advance significantly, but also to take half of Serebryanka. Today's video of the raising of the flag on the outskirts of Hryhorivka is given as evidence. According to Rybar, a group of several fighters moved through a narrow strip of greenery on the southern bank of the Siversky Donets and planted that very flag, after which they retreated to their original positions. There is no talk of any control over this area yet. The channel points out that the terrain along the Siversky Donets River is extremely difficult, with gullies, ravines, and numerous craters, and Ukrainian defenses are strong in the area. Bilohorivka, on the western side of the river, is still under complete Ukrainian control. Rybar adds that Russian stormtroopers can reach isolated buildings on the eastern outskirts of the settlement, but this can often be called a one-way route. Thus, the advances of the Russian armed forces near Hryhorivka are extremely local in nature, and were achieved as a result of extremely heavy fighting and at no small cost. False reporting by local Russian commanders has been a constant feature of the war in Ukraine. It has undoubtedly had adverse effects. Commanders have falsely reported capturing Ukrainian positions, then sacrificed numerous troops in assaults to try to make it true. Rybar notes other consequences. A false report on the capture of a particular location not only misinforms the higher command and contributes to the adoption of erroneous decisions, but also cuts off its own combat capabilities. First of all, this concerns the work of large calibers, such as glide bombs. If you paint over the notionally captured Verkhnokamianske without establishing real control, then an airstrike on targets inside the village from above will simply not be coordinated. And really, why strike a village that is already in our rear on the map? But nobody has removed the tasks of advancing further to Siversk, so the troops have to catch up with false reports and liberate what is already ours on paper. But this has to be done without using large calibers for the same destruction of enemy strongholds. That is, such fake reports lead to a decrease in the ability to inflict fire damage in the interests of the advancing group. And this, in turn, entails losses of personnel and equipment, which, contrary to the beliefs of some people, tend to run out very quickly when used thoughtlessly. Therefore, comrades who justify such situations as being competent information warfare are somewhat in a parallel world. Realities are still completely different, and the price of fraudulent reports of success is the lives of our people. Russia is using newly manufactured missiles to attack Ukraine. Andriy Kulchitsky said that the occupiers are using ammunition of the year 2024. For example, the missiles that were launched over Ukraine on August 26 are completely new and confirm that the Russian Federation has exhausted its old reserves. This shows that the Russians have no preliminary reserve for waging war in warehouses, bases, and arsenals. Fighters of the 425th Assault Battalion Skala conducted successful assault operations near Novorodovka. According to reports, after clearing the positions, the group returned to base without any losses.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.